This is very, very important. Let me simplify.
In my
Yeah,
research,
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
actually, in my research, I have collect my data from random sampling method.
Okay, 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 okay. Fine. I'm not asking about sampling method. Simply assume that you are going into the field and taking interview of your respondent. Okay, and then you are asking question and your respondent is responding to your question. So that is one type of
That
data.
is descriptive. That is descriptive form.
Yes, exactly. Descriptive form. Now, during only descriptive form of data. So this is one type of data. Other type of data is your observation. Your observation is about how the person is responding and what are the different question the respondent is ignoring or not ready to reply, and what are the different question or different opinions shared by your respondent during informal conversation. That means many times your interview is closed, many people just open up and they share more and more meaningful information. Have you noticed this type of phenomena sometimes, especially when you go into the field and take audio recorded interviews? How many of you have collected audio recorded data from the field? Have you collected any times? Any idea by anybody else if you have collected any data from the field where you have collected audio recorded data? That means you have recorded the interview of your respondent. No one? Okay. Anyway, we collect any researcher who actually go into the field to collect data from the participant, collect two types of data. One is audio recorded data, other is observed data. Audio recorded data means you can play anytime, you can store it, you can rewind it, you can display to anybody. That is data. That means that data is purely based on your question that you have developed. Second type of data, and which is actually the most critical data, is based on your observation. Many times before your interview starts and after your interview is over, respondent is open up and he starts sharing very, very useful information. And many researchers sometimes they are not aware what to do about those information which has been shared before the interview and after the interview. If you are aware, then fine. Otherwise, I will just suggest each and every researcher that all those information which has been shared before your interview starts and after your interview is over, they play very, very critical role, and you need to take into account in you need to write down on in register or in notebook or in diary, and all those information you should take into analysis part. Many times researchers are not aware and they just believe that their data is only based on the question and answer and nothing else. If you do that, then you are not going to actually create valuable and reliable uh, uh, output. Okay. So whenever any qualitative researcher venture into the field, qualitative researcher collect two types of data. One is about based on uh, research question, and second is based on researcher's observation. And researcher observation uh, is also known as field notes. Have you heard about sometimes field note, the concept of field note?
No,
Anyone? Field note.
no, sir.
Okay. Field note is simply a notebook that researcher take while collecting data, and any valuable information if researcher encounter or get apart from question and answer, researcher is supposed to write in the notebook, And when researcher come back to their workplace or at their home, all the information observed by researcher is supposed to be part of data analysis. Is it clear? Do you have any question on this?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So always qualitative researcher should have field notes, and the concept of field note play very critical role. Now, coming back to ethics in qualitative research, which is very important. I will give you some idea about ethics um, and some very practical information about uh, how to approach your respondent. And I will ask very fundamental question, and it is not very tough, and I would like some of you to answer. If you are initially writing email to your respondent that you want your respondent to spare few minutes for your uh, research question, and if you are writing mail and you know that you need half an hour for interview session, and your researcher is asking, your respondent is asking how much time do you need, and actually you need half an hour, then how much time should you tell to your to your respondent? Half an hour, or more than half an hour, or less than half an hour?
More than half an hour.
Some more responses, please. Some more responses so that I can put forward my points. Let let me simplify this question. If you want to interview any person and you know that your interview will take half an hour, and if you want to write in the email, how much time should you write? 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or 60 minutes? Objective questions. Tell me.
So more than half an hour.
Okay. Who else? Somebody else? Someone else?
40 to 45 minutes, sir.
Okay. Anybody is in uh, uh, anybody in favor of less than 30 minutes? Anybody is in favor of less than 30 minutes? Okay. I will give you some clue about it, and then accordingly you can decide. Uh, you see, it purely depends on the type of uh, organization you are going to interview and type of your respondent you are going to interview. Usually, in any formal organization, when you say that I'm going to take 30 minutes, then more likely people are going to maybe they reject your offer. They might so they're ignorant that no, we don't have much time, then we can postpone this time. So there might be so many issues, right? But when you say that, sir, it will not take more than 10 minutes, then more likely they are going to accept your offer, and they will say that, okay, you come tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or based on their own convenience. Now, I will explain the logic behind it and ethical point between these two. Try to understand, if you go by only saying 30 minutes and 10 minutes, and then some of you might say that once you uh, know that 30 minutes is needed, and so why and you are going to tell that only 10 minutes, then is it not unethical? Then in that sense you can say that yes, it is unethical. But you need to understand what is the objective of any researcher. The objective of any researcher is to first gain access to any respondent. Once you get access, once you gain access, then you need to uh, build trust with the respondent, and so that uh, you can extend the timing. But in anyhow, even if you have written that 10 minutes or around 10 minutes is needed, and if you're not able to make very good impression with the respondent, then respondent has every right to say that, okay, you wanted 10 minutes and 10 minutes is over and you can go and you are supposed to go. But the ability of any researcher is to, within those 10 minutes, you need to create a very good impression so that you can, extend your interview for 30 minutes and or beyond 30 minutes. Okay. So the logic behind saying 10 minutes or less than 30 minutes is simply to gain access and then you so that you can collect data, because accessibility to respondent in qualitative research is the major challenge. And that is how, whenever you need more time, always make a strategy to write lesser time than what is required. And in fact, it is not unethical. It is well accepted in research. Is it okay? Are any question on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, coming back to timing of interviews. When do you conduct interviews? Uh, uh, what could be the convenient timing of collecting data from respondent? Do you have any idea, or have you read any article? Uh, uh, when is the appropriate time? When is the suitable time? When I say timing, it's about within 24 hours. When will the convenient time? Do you have any idea about it? Anybody? Anybody has any field experience so that I can explain my idea? Anyone say yes or no so that I can proceed? Yes, Rachna. Anybody? Any idea?
Sir, actually, I haven't done this, so I have no idea regarding this thing.
Okay, fine. Now, what
Yes, sir.
happens? Okay, great. In any organization, the convenient timing for taking interview is after business hours. For example, where I collected data in banking sector. So banking sector, the business time is 10 to 2 or 10 to 4. So my data collection timing was around 5 p.m. and I have mentioned in my thesis, right? So depending on the urgency of your respondent, if respondent is busy in working somewhere in any organization, then during the business hours, during working hours, you should avoid taking data. You should always prefer to take data once the working hour is finished. And the simple logic behind this is, once because the respondent is not disturbed by any customer or any other work, he is free to share any insight. Otherwise, if you are going to uh, conduct interviews with the respondent during the business hours, there will be lot of obstacles, and even though you can collect data, but more and more meaningful information may not emerge. And that is how, whenever if you are going to collect data from any respondent, always make sure that in any formal organization, your data collection timing should be based on respondent convenience and after business hours. Does it make sense? Do you have any question on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the next question I would ask you, and I will also explain that what is the place of interview? What could be the suitable place for interview in qualitative research? For example, if your respondent is working in a bank and he is asking you to conduct interview at his home, what will you do? Should you accept his invitation or should you not accept his invitation? Simple question. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. There is no right and wrong answer. I'm just, because we do not see each other, so you are free to, speak your mind.
Sir, I think it should be completely restricted to a professional area.
Okay, good. Anybody else?
Sir, in a public place?
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. Now I will put forward my point. Qualitative research is always study, context is specific, and it is also a naturalistic inquiry. What does it mean? It simply means that your inquiry should be at the place of work. That means at the place of where phenomenon take place. For example, if I'm going to conduct any research on banking sector, then most of my data should be collected in the banking setup, right? Why? Simple reason is because when you are going to collect data in the natural place of work, then you are going to observe so many contextual factors: how people are walking, how people are working, how they appear, what they are wearing, what is the level of confidence, what the kind of fear they have on their face. So many things you observe, right? But the same thing may not be applicable when you are going to take interview in open place, or maybe in shopping center, or maybe in hotel, or maybe at his home, because that is not the natural context. Okay. But the fact is that it also depends on uh, uh, the comfort of your respondent. If respondent is not comfortable at workplace, and if he insists you to take interviews at any shopping complex, or maybe in hotel, or maybe at his work, maybe at his home, then you should conduct it, you should accept it, you should agree to it. But you should provide a strong reason what respondent has said. And during your interview, you should also ask question that what prohibited you, or what restricted you, or what motivated you to conduct interview not at your workplace but at the different places. Because the more and more you are going to write all those information, this will give lot of clue about the context where the phenomena take place, or where the respondent is working. Does it make some sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the some fundamental issues. Now, some of the ethical protocol in qualitative research, which is very, very important. And I would ask you a very, very simple question. I think most of you have conducted Google survey form. Say yes or no simply, so then I can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Google survey form. How many of you have conducted Google survey form?
I have done.
Okay. Who else? Google survey form. Anju. Who else? Okay, great. Who else? Google survey form. Okay. Do you know any ethics involved in using Google survey form? Do you have any idea about any ethics involved in using Google survey form? Yes, somebody has raised hand. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Google survey form. Do you have any idea that Google survey form also carry some kind of ethical protocol between researcher and respondent?
No, sir.
Okay. Google survey form is under you know data protection right, Google data protection right, and researcher has obligation to only use the data, not misuse the data. Okay. Now I will give you some idea about Google survey form and question and answer session. Have you heard about informed consent word anytime before? Informed consent. Informed consent.
So please elaborate.
Okay, great. Informed consent is whenever you are going to take appointment from any respondent, then you are going to write your idea about research, and the content could be this is only for academic purpose, and I am conducting research on so and so topic, and your responses will be kept confidential, and I'm not going to disclose any information without your permission, right? Okay, once you agree to this consent, these ideas, then I will come and take interview based on mutual agreed timing and date. This is and then respondent write yes, I agree, and you can conduct interview. This is known as informed consent. That means you have already informed your respondent about your research, purpose of your research, and how you are going to use the data, and how your data is not going to harm the respondent and the organization where respondent is working. This is informed consent. And then once respondent is saying that yes, you can conduct interview, and then only you can based on his timing and location, you can visit the place and you can conduct interview. This is called informed consent. Is it clear? Does it make some sense?
Yes, sir.
This is known as informed consent. That means you have already informed your respondent, and respondent has already given his consent to you that you can conduct research, and he is ready to respond to your question. This is known as informed consent. Now, in case of Google survey, do you have any informed consent? No, you simply write few question and just circulate maybe through WhatsApp, through social media, through Facebook, through Instagram, through LinkedIn, through email, or through many more methods. And you just ask people to respond to your question, isn't it? Do you agree on this?
Yes,
Do
sir.
you? Yes. Now, now in this case, Google survey form, you also take respondent. You also take consent. But of course, this consent is not separately written. In case of Google survey form, it is known as implied consent. Implied consent means anybody who is responding to your Google survey form. Responding simply mean that he is giving opinion or answer to your question. He has already agreed that yes, I am agreeing to your question and I'm responding it. Okay. So in any kind of Google survey form or monkey survey form, it is known as informed consent. Now, what is the ethics involved in it? It is already, implied on the part of respondent, researcher, that you should use data only for your research purpose. Okay, and as and when your research is published, you are going to destroy the data. Actually, while writing any Google survey form, any researcher should actually write this clause. And what could be the content of this clause? The content of this clause could be that this is, I'm conducting research on so and so topic, and I have opinion on this, and I will use this data only for my research purpose, and I'm not going to misuse this data. And as and when my data is complete, research is complete, I am going to destroy this data. And whenever I'm going to publish this data, I'm going to take your consent before publishing the data. This is known as implied consent, and this is the ethical protocol between researcher and respondent while using Google survey form. In other words, simply circulating Google survey form and taking opinion if you are going to conduct any research, and not taking the opinion of your respondent is violation of ethics. So always, and second part is, even though the person has in Google form you have captured many more information like email ID, or maybe the organization name, maybe the people designation, their name. As a researcher, this is ethical bonding, that you should not use any identifying information like name, email ID, contact details, organization name while reporting your findings. You should always use disguised name, right? You can always use some different name. This is known as ethical protocol in qualitative research, especially when you are going to use Google survey form. Also, in other types of data, for example, audio recorded data, video recorded data, or maybe semi-structured in-depth interview, researcher is supposed to hide any identifying information of respondent and organization. Why? Because objective of any qualitative research or any research is to help people. Who are those people? First of all, your respondent and their organization. And that is how the concept of privacy, confidentiality, and anonymity take place. And they are fundamental fabrics to ethical protocols. Okay. So once you follow all these guidelines in qualitative research, then I'm sure that nobody is going to question the process of collecting your data and analyzing and reporting your data. Okay. Up to here, it's clear. Do you have any questions so far?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. In anything else? In any question anybody would like to ask? Okay. Could we wait for 2 to 3 minutes just for break so that you can conceptualize some question and you can throw me. Anyway, we are online. 2 minutes break. Can we take? Any question you can conceptualize and let me know. Have you heard about Atlas TI? Sometimes or any times?
So please repeat.
Atlas TI.
No, sir.
Okay. Uh, have you heard about any software which is used for qualitative data analysis? Anyone? Okay. Once you have collected data, then next part is after data collection. What is the next part? After you have collected your data, what is the next part? What is the next part after data collection?
So compiling the data,
Okay. And after compiling the data?
publishing it, writing
No,
the
but
entire word.
no, but you have to analyze your data, no?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Now,
Scoring the
while,
data.
yes, storing the data, and then you are going to analyze the data. Uh, how many of you have analyzed qualitative data? Do you know the process of analyzing data? How to analyze data?
Through a software SPSS.
SPSS is quantitative software. Qualitative software is uh, uh, Atlas TI. So that is why I was asking about have you. That is why I was asking about have you heard about Atlas TI?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the software part. Is it fine if you see the software part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Uh, can I share my screen from here? Okay, just
Yes,
wait.
sir.
Okay, just wait. I'm going to open my software and I will just show you some of the ideas about Just wait. I am going to share my screen. Hmm. Can you see my screen now? Can you
No, sir.
can you see the screen? Of course, it is. You're not
Yes.
able to see
Yes,
my
sir.
screen.
Yes, sir. It's visible
Yes,
now.
sir, it's visible.
Okay. Now this is the screen of Atlas TI. Atlas TI is the qualitative assessment software, which is the most advanced software which qualitative data. And what are the types of qualitative data? Text data, audio data, video data, social media element, Twitter data, Instagram, YouTube, and survey data, geodata, image, diverse kind of data it can analyze. All these are my projects. I will just show you some of concepts, uploading, categorizing, how it appears, look like. Okay. Um, can you see here new project? My cursor going here, new project in the plus sign. Okay. If I click
No,
here,
sir.
I can create, show you some. Wait. What do you see on the screen right now? Perception about qualitative research. Can you see?
No, sir. So it's stuck on the first slide. Yes, sir. It's changed.
Okay.
Perception about
Now can you?
qualitative research systematic.
Exactly. Now I have already conducted research on this. And left hand side you will find in the documents 99. Can you see here 99?
Yes, sir.
99. And in the code 11 in network 1. So what I have done, I have collected Google survey form and I have collected 99 responses. And what is the research question? I will just open here. And research question was, what is your, I will show you the question itself. Can you see left hand side the question? Can you see on the screen? Question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could you see that? How do you view the qualitative research? What is people perception of the qualitative research? What is your our experience with available resources to support qualitative research? Can you see that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
on these five question, I have collected 99 responses. That means 99 respondent have given their responses, and all these questions are open-ended question. Can you see here? How I have written? You can also take a lot of clue from here. How do you view? There is no yes or no answer. There is no right and wrong answer. That means people are free to write their answer. How do you view qualitative research? What is the people perception? Okay. Experience, what is your opinion? Now you their responses. If I open any one document, I am just opening the document.
So your voice
Right
isn't
on
clear.
the Okay. Fine now?
Yes, sir.
Is it not fine?
That's fine, sir. It's fine.
Okay. Great, 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 great. Can you see the question? How do you view people have given age? What is the so question and answer? Question. I will say. Can you hear how people?
So your voice is getting stuck again.
For example. Mhm.
It's
Okay.
not clear again.
Let me. Is it fine now? Is it better?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's better.
Okay. 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 Can you see here question and answer how it is written?
Yes, sir.
For example, see the question number 3. What is your with available resources to support qualitative research? Right? So they have given the answer. My experience about qualitative resources is difficult to. So all this color word they code the data, right? So every day you have to code for right side you find code. So what happens? Quality so methodology you are going to use, whether you are going to use phenomenology, grounded theory, study methods, thematic analysis, narrative. Basically, you are going to code all your data. And after coding, then you find out the classification of code. You're going to catch the code. And I will show you how the in. Can you see the number of code available here? Okay. These are the question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have the theme good experience. Can you see here good experiences to get insight? These are theme based. Okay. And if I will show you in terms of work, I just right click.
So your voice is not clear, sir.
Okay, 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 okay. Is it fine now? Is it okay? Is it better?
Yes, sir. It's clear now.
So piece. So I have just these are the themes, and these are that about what is the people perception about qualitative research, and these are the theme. Example, good experiences. People have given their good experiences, and you can see there are 57 responses. If I go here and I can click all the code. Okay, can you see here male and female? Can you see here on the screen?
Yes, sir.
That means out of 57 responses, 29 responses have been given by female and 28 by male. Okay, and if I I will see how informative it is. If I just show you, can you see here? So this is the power of software. From software, you can analyze all your data by using. So this is more of a network analysis, right? By looking at the network, you can find out how complicated it is. I understand that those who have not done an Atlas TI, it is very difficult to visualize, but this is how one way of presenting your data. Okay. Now, another way to present your data is about, uh, have you heard about the word cloud? Do you see here all word frequencies, AI coding? So if you want to quickly find out what is there in the responses, then you can just use the word frequency. And I will just click here, check all, and frequency will emerge here within fraction of a second. Can you see here?
Yes, sir.
That means these are the information emerging from the data. Okay. Or you can just check the, this is known as word cloud. And this has been done by Atlas TI. Or if you want to, okay. And if you click on any word, then it will take you to that place. Okay. You can also find out the concepts. If I click on the concept, check all. I'm just showing you how Atlas TI works. These are the words coming. Okay. And you can also download Excel form kind of things. Okay. Now, I will show you, for example, if you want to find out research question, let us check under which research question, what are the different responses. So I have just clicked here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and try to find out theme, what themes are emerging. And just wait. Have you seen this kind of qualitative data sometimes by using a lot of numbers? Okay. And this is Sankey diagram. You can check. That means you can see here right hand side the question, what is the most challenging part in qualitative research? And answer is here. Can you see, if you click here, all things will emerge here. High difficulty level, help to get insight, and not authentic data. If I click here, if I click here, fourth question, what is the perception of guides and examiners? If I click here, all information will emerge here. Have you seen this kind of visualization before in qualitative research? Have you seen this kind of visualization in qualitative research? Anyone?
Okay. So can you please repeat your question? Your voice got stuck in between. I didn't hear your question.
Okay, okay. Is it better now? Is it better now? My question is, have you seen this kind of visualization?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Now you can also check this like this. So this is the power of software. Okay, okay, and this is nothing but you know code coefficient. Can you see in the bracket? They are known as C value. Just like in quantitative research, there is a P value, Pearson correlation. In qualitative research, there is C value, which is uh, code co-occurrences. Okay. Then if you want to find out the different Python, then I will take you to good experience. Just wait. Could you see on the screen male and female? What are the different themes emerging? So left hand side, the themes, good experience, help to get insight. These are the theme based on your research, and research was what is the perception of qualitative research, how people perceive qualitative research. So these are the type of information emerged between male and female, and you can use this Sankey diagram to find out the pattern of information between male and female. This is known as Sankey diagram. Okay, and if you want to generate report, then I will show you how to generate report. Just wait. If you want to find out good experience, I will just click here, go to report, and create report here. Can you see on the screen the report?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if you want to check report on maybe high difficulty level, I will just click here, report, create report, and then report is here. You can read each and every report. What people say about what is the degree of difficulty in qualitative research. If you want to find out anything else, not authentic research, I will click here, create report. I will open, and then report is here. So these are just snapshot of software part in qualitative research. But in qualitative research, in any case, the most critical part is quality of data. So any researcher across any method, whether you are going with the ethnography, phenomenology, or maybe case study methods, or grounded theory, or thematic analysis, you must follow the process of data collection. And while data collection, the informed consent, the timing of interview, and the way you have designed your question, and the type of ethical protocols you have applied, each and everything you are supposed to follow guidelines. And once you follow the guidelines, you don't need to worry about what could be the outcome, because people are more concerned about the processes you have followed. And once you have followed the correct processes, scientific processes, while collection of data and also analysis of data, then no one can raise much question about the quality of outcome you have reached. Okay, many times people are more reliance on one set of data, that what question they have asked and what people have responded. And I always emphasize that no, the other part of data is what is your field observation, which should be written in the diary, which is known as field note. And from those field note, you should also use during the data analysis. So as a qualitative research, when you venture into the field, always researcher collect two types of data. One is about the uh, data based on the question, and second is information based on your observation and intuition. So two sets of data should be analyzed in any field-based research, and accordingly you can find out the outcome of research. Okay, and of course you can use any software, maybe Atlas TI, NVivo, or any software you can use in qualitative research. But as far as, since I am only certified trainer of qualitative research in India, so, and my upcoming book is from Springer, and the title is Qualitative Methods and Data Analysis Using Atlas TI, which is in the publishing process. Atlas TI is very, very useful software to analyze any kind of data in qualitative research, whether it is audio data, video data, survey data, pictures, diagrams, social media comments, Twitter data. It is very, very useful. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay. I think you should ask questions so that otherwise I keep on speaking. How should I know that how much you actually make sense to what I say? Anybody else? Any question? Okay. Uh, Here also there is a. I will just demonstrate you. My screen is visible to all. All. My Atlas AI screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, where to use this Twitter data? Can you see here import and export? If you use this import and export, that is, I'm just moving my cursor here. If I click, can you see here Twitter left hand side, extreme left, Twitter. So by using the Twitter data, you can import Twitter data for the past 1 week. Okay. So, by using hashtag, and this is evernote evernote and reference manager. For example, if you are using endnote, Jotero, or any reference manager, you can import all your data including references in Atlas AI, right? This survey data is used for any monkey survey data or Google survey data that you have collected data, then you can import all your data using this survey. Now, next is social network comments. By using this social network comment, what we do actually, there are many social sites like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, where already lot of comments are available. Then by using social uh, exportcomments.com, you can download all the comments. Usually up to 100 comments it is free, but more than 100 comments, if you want to download, you have to pay a little bit fee. So you can download comments in Excel form. Maybe TEDx video, if translation is available, then you can download and you can use Atlas TI to analyze data. Okay. And then okay, and these are whatever you see on the screen. They are all automatic function for coding purpose: text search, regular expression search, okay, sentiment analysis, concepts, opinion mining, word frequencies. And there is a newer concept called AI coding. AI coding is nothing but artificial intelligence coding. So when a researcher is well versed with uh, uh, analyzing data using Atlas TI, then they can also use artificial intelligence coding, where researcher doesn't need to code any data. The software automatically code all the data, and the next process after coding, the researcher need to take analysis part. Okay. Okay. So I will also show you how it looks like network. Uh, can you see here network? This is the way of showing network. Okay. And if you want to change the designing, you can also change the designing. Okay. This is the network kind of presentation which can be done, which can be used for analysis purpose. Okay. I stop here, and I would like to respond to few questions or any question related to qualitative research, quantitative research, software, ethical challenges, ethical guidelines, informed consent, implied consent, and many more ideas that I have discussed so far. I would be happy if you ask any question, because that is where I can also make sure that at least you have heard and at least you have some question to ask. At least few question by someone or by few participants. Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Any question if you have. Any question by anybody else? Or any help or anything that you want to know about qualitative research, or anything that you faced during your data collection, any challenges?
My question is, what are the problems with quantitative data? How to overcome it?
Can you repeat your question again?
What are the problems with quantitative data? How to overcome it?
Okay, very good question. First of all, quantitative data used to explain the phenomena, but why that phenomena happens, they are unable to explain. So these are the limitations of quantitative data, first of all. Second is quantitative research has its own purpose because it is not context specific. So if you want to learn more about any concept on which you are working or the issue that you are working, then how to overcome it, you have to also use qualitative research, and you can use mixed method. Mixed method if you use, then in mixed method, the demerits of qualitative research and quantitative research both are addressed. So I will again repeat, quantitative research uh, help you to explain the phenomena, but if you want to know the underlying the phenomena, why it happens, okay. For example, if you want to know that how many people use Instagram, then by using quantitative method, quantitative technique, you can find out the numbers, percentage, that these are the percentage of people use Instagram, or maybe Facebook. But if I ask question about why they use it, then quantitative research doesn't have any answer. Okay. Then for this, you have to go with the qualitative research to know the reason, what are the different reasons behind it. So to more about the context, about their motivation, about their intention, you have to go with the qualitative research. So many times what happens, the researcher, while creating even the survey form, they have mixed question. Some question are quantitative based, some question are qualitative based, and that is how they can address the weaknesses of quantitative research and also qualitative research. Am I giving answer to your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else? Please go ahead, because we learn from each other. Anyone else by any question?
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Sir, my question is, you have mentioned that once we collected the qualitative data and have utilized it on our research, then we have to destroy the responses on consent basis.
Yes,
Yes, sir. So my question is, what if
yes,
I have
yes.
collected that data and have analyzed it, but want to analyze that again, those responses on my further research? Like, say, I'm quoting example of my PhD work. So, what if I would like to use that data on research publication? Is it
Great.
unethical?
Uh, yes, yes. No, no, no. Is it not unethical? Unethical only when you have not informed your intention to your respondent. And that is why usually people do not do that. They do not clearly inform the respondent, but the good practice is always, while collecting data, always write your respondent that I may use this data for my PhD or even 6 months after PhD. Okay, you should at least the respondent should be informed about it. But anyhow, if you have not informed, the ethics says that at least you should intimate them that I'm going to use your data. And the moment you are going to publish the data, and if it doesn't have any name of the organization or name of your respondent, it is fine because you are not going to harm them. But the moment you are going to disclose any identifying information, their consent at every point and their information and their consent is very, very important. One sided you cannot do. One sided only you can do when you are not going to disclose any identifying information, you can do so. But the moment you are going to use this data and your task is complete, then morally and ethically you are supposed to delete that data. This is the ethical protocol.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
One more question, sir, I have. How to prevent biases
Please go ahead.
in qualitative data?
Very good question, Madhu. Very nice question, and I will ask everybody to clap for Madhu. Very good question, first of all. Okay. Okay. Now, there is a concept called bracketing. If you know the concept of bracketing, uh, then fine. Otherwise, I would suggest you to read the concept of bracketing. And I will explain here itself. Bracketing concept says that researchers should bracket all their preconceived biases, preconceived stereotyping, or any kind of pre-assumption during data collection, data analysis, data finding, and data reporting. This concept is known as bracketing. They should write at every point of time that this is my experience, and I have made sure that my previous experience in the organization or in the field or with the respondent is not going to color the information or finding or reporting. So bracketing is not only at one stage. Bracketing is starting from conceptualization to reporting the data. So every point, everywhere, you should write these words, these concepts, that during data collection, I have made sure that I have kept aside my preconceived idea about the respondent or the organization. So bracketing is the concept which can actually minimize. Practically, if you ask me, practically it is impossible to complete make sure that your data is not biased, because researcher somehow they have their own experience, even though they bracket their own experience, but somehow in some way something is colored. But yes, bracketing is the concept where maximum biasness or maximum prejudice can be overcome. Okay, Madhu.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else, any question? See, these are also the limitation of online session, no? Online workshop or online webinar. These are the limitation. But had it been offline, then we could have learned more and more from each other, right? No, I could have shown you the real part of Atlas TI. I could have given you some Google survey form, taken your opinion. I have conducted actually analysis in front of you and showing that what is emerging out of it. These are some limitation of online, but anyhow, I tried my best to give you the fundamental of qualitative research. Why do we conduct qualitative research? What are the different terminology, concepts of qualitative research, field challenges, ethical protocols, timing of interviews, how to take informed consent, implied consent, bracketing. Okay. So most of the basic concept and also very important concept I try to give you, and I have also demonstrated you at least AI how it looks like. Okay. But of course, it is just you know uh, some snapshot of qualitative research. You need to, if you want to really become qualitative researcher, then I would suggest you to read research design and research methodology concepts, because they are the backbone of qualitative research. They play significant role. Okay. Any other question? I still wait for your question. Otherwise, I think Dr. Priyanka will decide what to go. Yes, Madhu, any question or anybody else?
Sir, I have one more question.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
For school children, what will be the business time hours?
Wonderful, wonderful. I think as a researcher, you know what you are going to research. If your research is more related to the dynamics during the classroom setting, then definitely during the classroom setting. But if your research is more about knowing the management practices, uh, or anything beyond business hours, then you accordingly you decide. But uh, based of my knowledge, I can say that in a school setting, I think most of the best convenient timing is when the school is on, when students are there in class, then you can see all the activities, how people are behaving, right? Because in qualitative research there are multiple ways of collecting data. Observation is one part, right? So once collection of interview is concerned with the faculty, then definitely I would suggest you after your class is on. But when your observation is about the classroom dynamics, then of course I would suggest between when the class is on, and when the, and if you want to find out the pedagogy part, how they are going to teach, how they are learning part, then of course when the class is on, then that will be the best convenient time. As a researcher, and you know your topic, and whatever you decide and you feel that what will be the convenient timing, and when we should collect data, because in qualitative research, researcher is the king, and he or she decides what will be the best method, and nobody can question that. Okay, Madhu?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. What next? I still wait for your question, because I think our timing is going to towards end. If Dr. Priyanka is here, then she can suggest some question, or but I would suggest you, anybody to those who are even doing quantitative research, they should also engage into qualitative research, because qualitative research help you a lot to learn about the research. Okay, because the rigor and depth to know about research, qualitative research plays much more significant role than quantitative research. Okay, but at the same time, we should not ignore the importance of quantitative research or even the qualitative research. Both actually complement and supplement each other, and we cannot overestimate or underestimate the importance of any research, because both goes together. Okay. Still waiting for a few questions or anything you would like to suggest.
Sir, which research is more authentic according to you, quantitative or qualitative?
Independently none. But most of the time nowadays the concept of mixed method is, because in mixed method they actually address the weaknesses of each and every research. But of course, depending on uh, how big is your research and how your research could be addressed by which methods. So it purely depends on the researcher's topic and researcher understanding. No research can be undermined or overestimated just based on its, because both have its merits and demerits. Okay, it purely depends on how much knowledge do you want to discover and which top. But if you really want to make more sense about any research, it is better to go with the mixed method. So it purely depends on the researcher's
Okay, sir. Thank you
topic
so much.
and researcher understanding. No research can be any other question or any other queries or any other suggestions, because both have its or any other takeaways by anybody else. It purely depends on how much knowledge do you want to discover and which top. But if you really want to make more sense about any research, it is better to go with the mixed method. Okay, please go ahead. So it purely depends on the researchers.
Okay, sir.
I think
Thank you
most
so
of
much.
the participants are research scholars or even faculty. Question or any other queries or any other suggestions, because both have its or
Hello.
any other takeaways. Yes, please go ahead. Namrata. Depends on how much knowledge do you want to.
Sir, can I ask a question in Hindi?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल पूछिए, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
सर, मैं इस सॉफ्टवेयर के बारे में जानना चाहती थी. एक्चुअली हम लोग अभी तक यही सुनते आ रहे हैं कि एसपीएसएस एक अच्छा वो है, क्वालिटेटिव हो या क्वांटिटेटिव हो डेटा, उसके लिए एनालाइज करने के लिए. तो आपने ये वाला जो बताया, ये क्या स्पेसिफिकली क्वालिटेटिव के लिए है?
क्वालिटेटिव के लिए ही है और ये वर्ल्ड का सबसे बेस्ट सॉफ्टवेयर है और इंडिया में केवल मैं ही इसका एक्सपर्ट हूँ और मेरा नाम जो है वर्ल्ड के जो ये एटलस टीआई जो सीनियर ट्रेनर हैं उस लिस्ट में आप गूगल करेंगे तो मेरा नाम दिखाई देगा. एशिया पैसिफिक रीजन में इंडिया से केवल मैं हूँ और दिस इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट सॉफ्टवेयर फॉर क्वालिटेटिव डेटा एनालिसिस.
सर, अगर हम लोगों को इसको सीखना है, जैसे अभी जो नए हम लोग स्कॉलर्स हैं और इफ वी वांट टू लर्न इट, तो क्या उसके लिए करना पड़ेगा या क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे उसको हम
आप उसका बेस्ट तरीका ये है कि आप मुझे 2-3 दिन का वर्कशॉप रखिए, ऑफलाइन आप मुझे इनवाइट कीजिए, मैं आ जाऊंगा और आप लोगों को बता दूंगा सो दैट इंडिपेंडेंटली आप लोग काम कर सकते हैं.
हाँ सर, क्योंकि अभी जितने भी डेटा एनालिसिस के लिए डिपेंड ही होना पड़ता है और ये एक अलग लगा और अच्छा लगा क्योंकि अभी तक हम एसपीएसएस ही देखते सुनते आए हैं, करते आए हैं.
इंडिया के जितने टॉप रेटेड इंस्टीट्यूट हैं सब जगह मैं ये एटलस टीआई के ऊपर मैं मुझे एज ए गेस्ट इनवाइट किया गया है, लाइक आईआईएम, निटी, आईआईटी, टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज, नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी, बनस्तर यूनिवर्सिटी और मेनी मोर. तो मैं जाता हूँ और अगर आप बुलाएंगे तो डेफिनेटली, बट कम से कम 2-3 दिन का आप लोग रखेंगे तो ही सीख पाएंगे ढंग से इसको.
हाँ सर, क्योंकि अभी जितने भी
क्योंकि ऑनलाइन सीखना मुश्किल होता है, ऑनलाइन केवल डिस्कशन किया जा सकता है, इसके लिमिटेशंस होती हैं. तो अगर आप लोग इनवाइट करेंगे और हम देखेंगे कि टाइम की अवेलेबिलिटी है तो डेफिनेटली आई वुड लव टू कम.
Sir, could you kindly share the email address? Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
वही सर, आपसे कांटेक्ट करने के लिए अगर कुछ मिल जाए तो.
मेरा नाम अगर ढूंढेंगे तो गूगल पे बहुत सारे वीडियो मिलेंगे, 2-3 दिन आप लोग रखेंगे तो ही सीख पाएंगे ढंग से.
हाँ सर, क्योंकि अभी जितने भी
क्योंकि ऑनलाइन सीखना मुश्किल होता है. ये मेरा कांटेक्ट नंबर हमने दे दिया है, एनीबॉडी वांट टू कांटेक्ट.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Sir, could you kindly share the email address?
Any other question? Otherwise, I am waiting for Dr. Priyanka to proceed.
Thank you.
Or somebody can remind
सर आपसे
her
कांटेक्ट करने के लिए
if she's not
अगर
there.
कुछ मिल जाए तो
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this much informative knowledge. Now, I would request our principal, Dr. Anjana Sharan ma'am, to give vote of thanks.
Thank you. Contact number.
Am I audible?
Anybody want to contact? Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your relevant lecture, sir.
Any other
On
question?
behalf
Otherwise,
of,
I'm
once
waiting
again,
for,
very good afternoon to all of you. And on behalf of Prism Group of Institution, I principal of this institution, I must thank all the participants for being a part of such lecture in today's faculty development program. And today's topic was very relevant topic, qualitative research. And due to some technical error, some of the participants were leaping out. वो सब बाहर हो जा रहे थे, but doesn't matter. Dr. Ajay Gupta sir, I think you are the best resource person. थोड़ा सा हम लोग थोड़े से starting में upset हुए, but in future sir, आपका जितना भी मैंने अभी लेक्चर सुना सर, और हम लोग जितने भी सर अभी यहाँ पे जुड़े हुए लोग हैं, यहाँ पे आज हमने सब पार्टिसिपेट हम जो किए हैं प्रिज्म ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूट से और दूसरे कॉलेजेस से, तो यहाँ पे हम सारे के सारे हमारे बहुत सारे सीनियर टीचर्स हैं, कॉलेजेस में एचओडीज हैं और प्रिंसिपल्स हैं और कुछ रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स भी हैं सर. और आज हमारे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का कुछ एक एग्जाम है जिसकी वजह से हमारे कुछ रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स जो है वो जुड़ नहीं पाए हैं आज के इस हमारे फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम में, जो कि बहुत ही एक रेलिवेंट आज का एक लेक्चर था. और बहुत से हमारे ऐसे स्कॉलर्स हैं जो क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च पर रिसर्च कर रहे हैं हेमचंद यादव यूनिवर्सिटी से, और मेरे ही कुछ स्टाफ है, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली आज वो नहीं आज इसको अटेंड कर पाए. तो इन फ्यूचर सर आपसे मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ और आपसे मैं रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ डॉक्टर अजय सर कि आप हमारे साथ में फिर एक बार जुड़ेंगे. और जैसे कि अभी नम्रता मैडम ने कहा कि बहुत सारे जो उनके डाउट्स होते हैं वो हम लोग आपने भी कहा कि हम ऑनलाइन जुड़कर हम बहुत सारे डाउट क्लियर नहीं कर पाते हैं क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च के लिए. तो मैं चाहूंगी कि अपने संस्था की तरफ से मैं आपको एक बार हमारे इस प्रिज्म कॉलेज में मैं आपको इनवाइट करूं, आप फिजिकली यहाँ पे आके अपीयर होके हमारे साथ में जुड़े और हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ के या मेरे भिलाई के बोले या दुर्ग जिले के हमारे जितने स्कॉलर्स हैं वो आपसे बेनिफिट उठाए और आप आके यहाँ पे इनको कुछ सिखाए. तो मैं आपको एक बार और यहाँ पे आने का एक बार कष्ट करूंगी सर. और बहुत धन्यवाद सर, आपका लेक्चर बहुत ही अच्छा रहा सर. और मैं अपने आज की हमारी जो एमिनेंट चीफ गेस्ट थी डॉक्टर अनुराधा शुक्ला मैडम, उनका भी मैं बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी. और थैंक यू सर, फ्रॉम द बॉटम ऑफ माय हार्ट आई थैंक ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट एंड डॉक्टर अजय गुप्ता सर फॉर बीइंग विद अस. थैंक यू एवरीवन. एंड जो हमारे आज के जो हमारे इस प्रोग्राम के जितने कोऑर्डिनेटर्स थे और जिन्होंने इस प्रोग्राम को ऑर्गेनाइज किया उनको मैं थैंक यू बोलना चाहूंगी. थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू सर. वंस अगेन थैंक यू सर.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you all organizers and thank you all participants. And I would love to come to your college to share my knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And I tried my best to give my experience and knowledge to you. And I really liked all the participants and the kind of question you raised. Thank you so much. I look forward to meet you. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू एवरीवन. एंड जो हमारे आज के जो हमारे इस प्रोग्राम के जितने कोऑर्डिनेटर्स थे और जिन्होंने इस प्रोग्राम को ऑर्गेनाइज किया उनको मैं थैंक यू बोलना चाहूंगी. थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू सर. वंस अगेन थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you all organizers and thank you all participants. And I would love to come to your college to share my knowledge.
Yes, sir.